years and years. I mean, half my band's, liberal, or gay, or black, or this. Like, it's like, we have one of the most diverse bands out there, not because of any of this DI shit, just because they're the best at what they do, and we all love each other and get along.
Bill Maher brought on Kid Rock onto his show Real Time with Bill Maher, and that was a very, very big mistake there for Bill Maher to do, because Kid Rock absolutely schooled him. And in fact, the Real Time with Bill Maher audience actually sided with Kid Rock and had a big round of applause after Kid Rock schooled Bill Maher here. Let's get into this clip though, where Kid Rock absolutely takes down Bill Maher and his woke talking points.
On the bringing people together part, I mean, you have a song called My Kind of Country. My kind of country has room for Trump and a JFK. That's the first line, right?
Had I known, it would have said RFK.
Is that the last Democrat you liked?
No, I mean, my whole business is Democrats. I mean, so to speak. Not my whole business. I live in Nashville now, but that's the world I've operated for years and years. I mean, half my band's, liberal, or gay, or black, or this. Like, it's like, we have one of the most diverse bands out there, not because of any of this DI shit, just because they're the best at what they do, and we all love each other and get along.
You see how pissed off Bill Maher looks right there? He's like, his whole audience is applauding because they agree, and because Kid Rock is just based there. Like, that's how it all should be. Like, that's what people don't understand. People like Bill Maher don't understand that diversity will naturally occur if the best people are placed in the roles that they deserve to be placed in. If the best guitar player in the world happens to be black or happens to be gay, who cares? Who gives a shit? Just put them there. Let them play the guitar. That's all that matters. If the smartest person, if the most qualified person to get into Harvard happens to be white or happens to be Asian, they shouldn't be replaced by a black person just because of the color of their skin. It should be the best person gets into the best schools. The best doctor gets to get the doctor job. Like, how is that so complicated? And whenever that is actually happening, whenever there really is equality in the terms of everybody who qualifies for something gets that opportunity, then the diversity naturally comes. The diversity will naturally be there. Like Kid Rock is talking about to Bill Maher here, how his band is naturally diverse because he just puts the best people for each job in the position. It's not that complicated, but people like Bill Maher do not like to hear stuff like that, even though his audience seems to like it a decent bit.
Right, and I mean, you played the inauguration. Didn't Nelly and Snoop play that too?
Yeah, I believe they did. But remember, I also played Barack Obama's inauguration.
Oh, I didn't remember that.
I didn't vote for him. I played for him at the Kennedy Center, this, that, and the other. I'm like, everybody's just got to calm the fuck down a little bit. You know what I mean?
100% Kid Rock is spot on there. Everybody does just have to calm down. Everybody's so like, it's always just race wars going on, or my gender versus your gender. It's like, it doesn't have to be that way. It can just genuinely be best person for X job gets X job. And it should just be that simple. But for some reason, it's not. These people just cannot stand the fact that the best person for a certain job or for a certain position or getting into certain schools can just get in. Like, it just blows my mind. Like, do you guys think that America got to be the world superpower by having DEI in place everywhere? Absolutely not. Do you think that, like, it just doesn't make any sense, dude. Like, there's certain genders, there's certain races, there's certain people, groups of people who are more inclined to be good at different things, and if you're not going to acknowledge that, then you're just lying to yourself. There are certain groups of people. Like, look at the NBA. It's mostly black people. Are we going to all sit here and lie and say, no, we should actually give white people an opportunity in the NBA because there's too many black people? Nobody says that. Nobody cares. We're just like, oh yeah, we like to watch a good product. Let's just put the best athletes out there on the field. And if you look at hockey, it's mostly white people because white people just happen to be more interested and better at hockey. And if you look at Ivy League students, yeah, there's a lot of Asians in there. That doesn't mean we should start gatekeeping Asians out of getting into Ivy League schools and replace them with other races just because they're Asian. They shouldn't be punished. It should be the best person gets into the best school. It's not that complicated. And the funny thing is, whenever that is really happening, diversity will naturally occur. It's not going to be evenly spread like these people want it to be, where there's 25% white and 25% black and 25% Asian. That's not how it's going to be. But there is going to be some diversity. There's white people in the NBA. There's white people in the NFL. There's black hockey players. I'm sure, I don't watch hockey very much, but I'm sure there's a black hockey player here and there. It doesn't seem like, black people care about hockey too much, but I'm sure they're in there. Diversity will naturally occur. That's just how it goes. But also, Kid Rock had some other things to say here on Real Time with Bill Maher. Let's check this out.
Too popular of a sport. You're basically, you're one.
Oh, that's what she was asking you about? Fentanyl?
No, she was asking me for cocaine.
Oh, right.
And I'm like, young lady, no. Let grandpa speak to you first.
Words of wisdom from Kid Rock.
Well, Kid Rock's telling you, hey,
right.
slow down.
I will say, this Bill Maher audience seems to be turning more towards the right wing because Kid Rock is kind of, whether or not you believe it, out there just in the culture of the NPCs, of the normies out there, Kid Rock is kind of a symbol of right wing culture now because of what he did with the Bud Light stuff and a lot of the songs that he's made, like Bill Maher was talking about with My Kind of Country and those types of songs. He's kind of a symbol of right wing, of the right wing now. So for the Bill Maher audience to be loving him this much, it does kind of show something.
It's probably a big fucking problem.
But it's got to be rough. They used to come for the sex, now they just want your drugs. That's got to be. That would bother me a lot. All right. Now that the Boy Scouts of America is just going by scout. Oh God, yes. This is right up your alley, or somebody. There's Boy Scouts. Yes, I've sure it's been in the works for years. It's such an onion headline. The whole fucking country is such an onion headline. The Boy Scouts of America. It cannot be called Boy Scouts anymore because it's exclusionary. Like there isn't a Girl Scouts. Like this is some sort of crime against nature that we each. People are different.
We were just talking about.
It's now Scouting America.
In the first segment, we were talking about. What are we giving young boys? What kind of structure, what kind of discipline, what kind of education? A lot of those projects are really difficult. I was not in the Boy Scouts.
If you enjoy content like this, then make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It really does help me out a ton. Let's get back to the video.
Probably never made it. But those are difficult. They have to achieve. They have to put forth effort. They have to overcome obstacles. They have to overcome failure. That's part of maturing and becoming a full functioning adult.
Yeah.
And to take that away is insane to say this is targeted towards young boys because young boys are different than young girls. And
yes.
So the approach needs to be
They think
different.
It's funny when you fart in a sleeping bag.
Yeah, it is. Well, yeah.
I mean, girls don't.
The Boy Scouts are much better than the Girl Scouts. I have to say, I understand why girls would want to be in the Boy Scouts because it's a lot more fun. The only thing, really, as a former Girl Scout, that the Girl Scouts had going for them is the cookies. And that's basically it. And the Boy Scouts are doing, learning skills and building fires and going camping.
Why can't they institute that curriculum in the Girl Scouts? But, I mean, this is the kind of thing that gets Trump elected.
Yeah.
This is the kind, I've said it a million times here. The Democrats, you lost a crazy contest to a crazy person.
They started this.
Yeah, I mean, he always has to throw that in, right? Like anytime Bill Maher is going after the woke side, he thinks that I genuinely think it's because Bill Maher thinks he's going to lose his audience and lose his income if he goes too hard against the woke side, because you can see it creeping out of him where he wants to go in on them. He's like, he's saying that they lost a crazy contest, but then he has to throw in the fact that he lost a crazy contest to a crazy person. And look, I will admit, Donald Trump is a bit crazy, right? Like the guy is not a normal human, but I feel like he's crazy in a good way. He's crazy in the kind of way that you need to be if you want to be ultra successful in life. He is that kind of crazy, right? He's just delusional in the sense that he just believes in himself that he can do anything, like literally anything. And that's the kind of crazy that you have to be if you want to achieve great things. And I don't think he's a bad crazy at all. I think he's a great crazy, especially a great crazy to lead a country. I think it's perfect. Maybe if you throw Donald Trump's personality into a country like Russia or, Germany way back in the day, maybe he would have turned out differently. But we have checks and balances. So even if the guy is crazy enough to want to overthrow democracy, he's not going to be able to do it. But these people, they don't care about the reality. They just want to say things that sound good to their audiences. And I think Bill Maher's just genuinely scared of what happens if he goes completely anti-woke. And you could see it creeping out of him, but he always has to throw in those little jabs at Donald Trump to cover his ass with his woke audience. He always does it.
started decades ago, in my opinion. He started
well,
decades ago with
yeah.
timeouts and last place, participation trophies. And sorry to put it so harsh, but it seems to me like we lost a good portion of a few generations of men who've just turned into complete fucking pussies.
That's true. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody.
You gotta love Kid Rock, man. I love that he calls out the BS, and I love that he'll call it out straight to Bill Maher's face. And it's funny how Bill Maher just ends the show as soon as Kid Rock says something extremely base. But let me know in the comments what you guys think about this whole Kid Rock calling out Bill Maher here on his own show, Real Time with Bill Maher, and the audience really siding with Kid Rock throughout this entire episode of Real Time with Bill Maher. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about Kid Rock versus Bill Maher.